back to Those Two Geeks. My name's Alex. I am alone today. You can eagle-eared listeners. Is that even a word? Eagle-eared? Do eagles have ears? I assume they have ears. Owl-eared listeners, maybe? I don't know. May be able to notice that just from the sound of my voice. I'm sure that the audio is ever so slightly different from when we typically record in Skype versus when I'm doing it directly into Audacity, which is what I use to edit the podcast. Edit being a loose term, obviously. Folks, I don't really have anything to talk about today. Normally this is where Joe would fill an awkward silence as we joke back and forth about not having anything to talk about. I really don't. I'm going to be away from my laptop for about a week. This is Tuesday the 16th, so it's earlier than normal recording, but I'm going to be away from my laptop for about a week. Typical recording time would be on a Saturday, so obviously, as you can imagine, that's not going to happen this week. One of those things where we just didn't get a chance to fill in or record an episode earlier than normal. So I figured that rather than leave you with another week without an episode, because I'm sure you're not entirely used to that. We had been on I think it was at least 5 years without missing an episode, and missing one in 5 years isn't a bad thing. Not the end of the world. Certainly not ideal, but there we go. I just had a cat run across my legs, and I wasn't expecting a cat to be in this room with me. So there we go. Hello, creature. If you hear her, then that's fine. I'm not going to be too upset. If you can't hear her, then that is also fine. It means that the noise cancelling on the microphone is pretty good. I realised I've been speaking for almost 2 minutes, and I still don't know what I'm going to be talking about for the episode. So, yeah, lots of ums apparently. Actually, that's an interesting thing to bring up. There's an organisation called Toastmasters International, and different companies are going to have different access points to it, I suppose. The one I work with has an internal version of Toastmasters. I think it's I assume it's actually what's the word I'm looking for? Official, authentic, I don't know. But I assume it is official in that aspect, and it helps you with your improvisational public speaking, as well as just getting ready and delivering better speeches. So it's something that I've recently joined up with, become affiliated with, whatever you want to say, which is ironic because considering we've been doing this podcast for the better part of 8 years, 7 years, I don't know. I think we started in 2016, so it's coming on, coming on 10 years. I don't know what, this is episode 250-ish, and I think we did about 30 episodes of Gotham Weekly when we had that. So averaging, say, 290 episodes, because we did have a couple of non-numbered ones. So 290 divided by, I say 52, so that would be 5.5 years. However, there's a long time we were not consistent. So we've put out about 5.5 years worth of episodes if you listen to one a week. I am pretty sure we've been going longer than that. I'd have to dig into the SoundCloud histories to find out just how long it's been going, when we started up. I don't know. Anyway, I was talking to Joe. I think I even said on the last episode that I picked up the Dread Pirate Roberts and Inigo Montoya, which has led me into a rabbit hole of Princess Bride stuff. I don't intend to pick up any more action figures, I don't think. Maybe Fezzik if I can find it. Princess Buttercup I'm largely indifferent to. But yeah, like if I can find Fezzik, or if McFarlane does end up doing the Six-Fingered Man, that would be cool. But for the most part, I intend to just have those two, because for me, one of the most iconic scenes in that movie was when they had their duel. I used to fence a lot as a kid, and then I picked up again about 10 years ago. I've since dropped off. I didn't do it for long. That wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It wasn't great either. It was probably just approaching half decent. Although, and I think that was more to do with the fact that I would fence left-handed despite not being left-handed, or that's not true. I would fence left-handed because it's the first glove that I picked up, sometimes I'd fence right-handed. If that was the first glove I picked up, I didn't have my own equipment. I'd always borrow from the school, and it would always throw people off when I would just pick up left or right, left or right. It never really made a huge difference either way. So to me, anyway, it never made a big difference to me either way. I always said I was probably a little bit better with my right hand, but I won more with my left because people aren't as used to fencing a left-handed person. I recall when I came across a left-handed person when I was fencing, it threw me off because the angles were all different. I wasn't used to defending a certain way. It was fun and I had a great time, but yeah, it was the simple things that would throw you off. So I am not claiming to be an expert in any way, shape or form when it comes to swordplay, but I do still watch that scene. Sorry, I used to watch that scene from The Princess Bride. I had forgotten it for a while, but picking up these figures, I ended up watching it, and I was like, well, I'm going on a plane. Maybe I'll download the movie and watch that. Just have it on as I either read a book or pay attention to said movie, just to have a bit of fun. You can't go wrong with The Princess Bride. My wife has said that she is not a fan, and she's wrong, but to me it is arguably one of the best movies you can find. Even if it's not my favorite movie, there's a little bit of everything in there for everyone. Plus, it's also just fantastic. Again, my opinion, yours may differ, etc., etc. I realise I haven't taken a breath in quite a while, so this is going to be an awkward pause while I do that. I'm totally cutting that last little bit out. Right, folks, I, again, don't really have a huge amount to say. We're going on a few minutes here. What was I talking about? See, it's always funny when you're by yourself and you start going on a tangent. I'm sure that the Toastmasters group I'm a part of would be shaking their head in pure disappointment at this point, but ultimately I realize that I never planned anything, and I'm not unhappy, right? Giving you something to listen to with your coffee or as you're walking, and again, you're used to these solo shows either having a topic or being 5.5 minutes at best. So we're probably only going to be about between 7 to 10 minutes. I don't know. Yeah. So again, one of the interesting things about Toastmasters, and I realize I'm not advertising it, I'm not affiliated with it, I don't get anything if you join it. And frankly, even if you join it and I did, I wouldn't give you any information so that you could credit me, because I'm just talking about it as a topic, not as anything else. Anyway, so the meetings that we have, they often count how many etc. And as I'm talking here today, I realize that I'm making a fair amount of those, so trying to stop it, but when I don't have anything to say and I'm trying to fill the sound and I'm watching the silence stretch on in Audacity as I'm recording it, it's kind of nerve-wracking and yet almost anxiety-inducing. Oh, I've been silent for almost a second and a half. Oh no. Or perhaps longer. I'm not sure. So the timer right now is about 10 minutes. Obviously there'll be no shorten some bits out. Try and cut some of the chaff out. So you're probably listening to this about, I don't know, 7. I waffle a lot. Probably leave a lot of it in. We'll find out. I'm not gonna add any more to it once I'm done. So depending on how wrong I am with the timer, we'll find out. But yeah, folks, I will be back next week with Joe. It's gonna be longer than me for next week, so we'll probably talk about where I went. Spoiler alert: we're going down to Disney again because I'm a giant Disney nerd, as you probably already know. So we'll be down there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have anything else. But we will see you next week. Catch you next week. Talk to you. I don't know how this sounds.
Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.